Welcome, coming to you live, your place for all things World Powerhouse Wrestling, with your host, executive producer Jason Halbert, and WPW head referee Sherman Tank. This is Shane Jones bringing you Beyond the Curtain.
Welcome everyone to our second episode of Beyond the Curtain. That's right, everyone. Welcome. This is the second time we've done this, and hopefully it's going to be better than the first, because, quite frankly, it can't be any worse. I am joined, first off, as the intro said, I am the executive director slash boss of this thing. My name is Jason Halbert. Thank you. I've got a live studio audience here, so thank you. Okay. Joined by head referee Sherman Tank.
Nope, nothing. There it was. I knew it was coming.
Yep. Okay, guys, be nice to him. And the one and only, and thank God there's only one of them, Shane Jones.
Thank you much, Jason Albert.
That's about what I would expect, yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm used to.
Okay. So anyway, hey, how you guys been?
Oh, not bad. Just waiting on another episode of this to start.
Tank, I mean, is there something else that has your attention over there? I mean, what's going on?
No, I just funny memory. That's all. I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good. We'll be all right.
Let's see here. So we discovered something after we went off the air last time, that we can actually bring up Facebook comments and stuff on the screen, so we can interact with you a little bit better. Like, do it again, Shane. There you go. Hey, how's it going, Mike?
That was a real. We discovered that like 15 seconds after we went off the air last week.
Something like that. I think I accidentally clicked on a comment and it came up on the screen.
We were like, whoa.
Yeah, it's fine. We like to start off the show by having a little bit of fun. Unfortunately, we do have a little bit of bad news to pass along today. It was announced that former where didn't he wrestle? Former wrestler, professional wrestler, legend Tracy Smothers passed away today at the age of
58.
Thank you. I forgot to write it down. He help me out here. He wrestled for just about everyone, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, just about everywhere. All of the Southern Territories, WCW, ECW. I would imagine WWE at one point.
He did have a small stint in WWE.
I was gonna say I knew he wasn't in there long, but
I will say this: I had the pleasure of meeting Tracy a few years ago at a wrestling event in Streator, Illinois, and I've had a chance to meet several wrestlers who have been to the top cards, and you never know what you're going to get whenever you meet somebody like that. They could either be just like look at you and say, "What are you doing here?" or they could be really nice. Tracy Smothers was one of the nicest people I ever met. Did not make you feel like you didn't belong there with him at all. Held conversation with you, shook your hand, acted just like you were one of the boys in the locker room. It was just an absolute honor to meet him, and I hate to hear the news today.
I want to actually add to that. I think it was about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago. I got the chance to go up to Iowa and work. And we were in there, and he was one of the guests on the show. And I can actually mimic exactly what Shane said. I sat down and had a conversation with him during the intermission, and he had a lot of knowledge he passed along, and was one of the nicest guys. And it didn't matter if you were ring crew, ring announcer, one of the boys or referees. He was as nice as could be to everybody that walked through the curtain.
It's good to hear stories like that, because, like Shane already alluded to, you don't know if what you see on TV is real, if you hear stories about the guy, if he's a nice guy, if it's really genuine, or if it's all just part of the act and he's really kind of an ass backstage. You don't know. So for someone like that, a name like Tracy Smothers, for him to be humble and to take the time and actually talk to you, and I mean, you were what, a referee on that show, Kyle?
I was just a ring announcer.
Ring announcing, okay.
I went in as a ring announcer, and he took the time to sit down, and he didn't. We talked a little bit about the business as a whole. I was kind of learning because he was dealing merchandise at the time, and I didn't want to take too much of his time away, but he was willing to impart any kind of knowledge that he had, for a guy that nobody knows who I am by any stretch of the imagination. The fact that he sat there for, 5, 10 minutes and talk to me about anything and everything was just super nice.
That's awesome. I like hearing about that kind of stuff. Shane you said you shared a locker room with him. Did you wrestle against him, or you just were on the same card with him?
I don't remember what I was doing there. I know I was at the show helping out in some capacity. There's just some things that I can't quite remember with that, but I do remember the conversations with him clearly. And, walk into the locker room and he's just kind of sprawled out in the back, taking a nap, barefoot in his shorts and t-shirt. And when guys come in, gets up, shook their hand, just as nice as could be to him.
Well, like I said, it's a shame that we've got, unfortunate news like that to pass along today. And one other thing I forgot to look for, was he ill? Was it? I thought I read somewhere it was a battle of cancer of some sort.
Yeah, he'd been fighting some form of cancer for quite a while. I believe it was maybe kidney cancer.
Ooh.
I read lymphoma, but I don't know if that
could be it. And then on top of that, he was also fighting some heart conditions and something else going on. He had like a trifecta of things that he was battling with. I'd been kind of reading in some of the updates that people who were close to him were sending of the battles that he was having. And he just lost the battle today.
Man, well, our thoughts and prayers go out to, his family and, and as wrestling fans in general, we're all going to miss his contributions to the business. So, I guess I wish I had a ring bell, but I don't. But we'll observe a moment of silence here for him.
Absolutely.
All right. On to some more pressing issues. We have got some breaking news. And it's not just that Sherman Tank's a horrible referee.
Whoa.
We have a announcement here.
That's not news.
No, everyone knows he's a terrible referee. So
you're just mad because I'm the reason that you ended up being fired, okay?
You know what? Let's let bygones be bygones. You're a terrible referee. You're ugly. We all know this. You're not
a terrible
the reason
CEO,
why.
So
really,
he's not CEO anymore. So
see, okay. I still got a job.
So do I. I'm still your boss on the show, aren't I?
For now,
right. Anyway,
where's Xavier Frost when you need him?
Right.
Probably shoving chili dogs down his throat. Anyway, November 14th. If you are a fan or a subscriber to our Patreon page, if you haven't subscribed to it yet, you're going to want to, because November 14th we are going to have a show. Hey Kyle, ask me how you can get tickets.
Who's Kyle?
Tank. Ask me how you can get tickets.
How do you get tickets?
You can't. This is a studio show, kind of similar to what you've seen on TV with the big companies, but we're going to stream it live on our Patreon page that day. So,
well, hold on. It's not going to be streamed live. Internet issues aren't going to allow it to be streamed live, but it will be TV taping. It will be taped and edited and put on our Patreon page as soon as possible.
Damn it, Kyle the intern told me it was going to be live.
Yeah, Kyle the intern doesn't always get all the information.
See, if we need to pass that information along to him, because I feel like you guys are way too mean to him. I'm just saying.
He's an intern.
So
he works for free. So
yeah. So we're gonna be taping that show on the 14th. So anytime after that, keep an eye out. We'll post information on when it goes up on our Patreon page. So yeah, it's gonna be a good time. We're going to jam-pack the card with a bunch of stuff because we can do it, because we're going to be inside, and we're going to have a studio all to ourselves. So we're going to do whatever the heck we want.
Well, you won't be there, at least not as CEO.
No, I've got other stuff to do. Who do you think's going to be calling the action? Me, the voice of WPW.
I hope not.
I'm lead play-by-play.
See, I thought I read somewhere that Chip was going to do that.
That's what I thought.
I don't know where you read that at. We need to have a discussion when we get off the air, because I'm pretty sure I got a contract sitting somewhere around here that says otherwise. But whatever, we'll get it figured out.
Proof or it didn't happen. Just saying. If you show up to the show without a contract, I'm kicking you out.
I could go a couple different. Well, you know what? I'm pretty sure my clients, the Violators, are going to be on the card defending their World Tag Team Championship. So put that in your juice box and suck it, Tank.
He
is acting as their agent or manager, so there is that.
That's terrible decision.
So you will never fully be rid of me. But we're going to do a whole lot of stuff that night, I'm sure. I haven't really no clue. I've been contacted on behalf of my clients for a match. We haven't signed anything yet, and I'm not going to divulge who we're going to, who we're in talks of defending it against. But I can tell you, whoever it is, it's going to be a nice, easy night for the Violators. Keep an eye out on our Facebook page and all of our social media, and we may or may not put out the info on the card. I'm pretty sure we're going to put some of it out, but you're not going to know all of it. So there we go. All right, on to more news. And unless either one of you two have anything you want to add to it. Be there, be square.
I think we're golden.
Good. Remember, you cannot buy tickets for this. So if you show up and you figure out where we are, I'm going to have Sherman Tank chase you around without his teeth in. That's a scary sight.
Whoa. Can I take my shirt off too?
Oh,
no.
Go big or go home. Go big or go home.
No. Let's see here.
Oh, really? If this wasn't a family show.
It is a family show until you start taking clothes off. Then it's we don't want fans anymore. Another health update here. Dale Winchester, who was last week was battling COVID. Him and his wife Amy were both. I believe his wife was in the hospital battling COVID and pneumonia.
Yep.
And as was Big Dog.
Was he in the hospital as well?
Yes.
I did not know that.
Shane, I think you have a health update on Dale.
I do. Luckily, he is getting better. Everything is starting to pass. The medicines are starting to work. His wife, Amy, is now home from the hospital. So It looks like everybody's gotten over the mountain there and is on their way to healing.
Awesome.
That's wonderful news. Wonderful news, Dale. We're rooting for you. We know that you're going to whip its ass, like you have told us numerous times. So, good job. We're hoping that you make a full recovery, you and your wife both, because frankly, I'm probably going to still need your services at the next show. So, get better.
More than likely.
Yeah, I mean, I've only ticked off, 3/4 of the locker room?
That's going real conservative, man.
3/4 is a good number.
I think it's a low number, but it might be a good number.
Hey, we just had a greeting from none other than one of the area's most well-known wrestlers, Ricky Cruz.
Hey, welcome, Ricky.
I had the opportunity to observe one of his seminars last weekend, and the man is a phenomenal wealth of knowledge. If you can ever get out to see him wrestle or take a seminar with him, it's highly recommended. Absolutely wonderful guy.
I was going to ask you how that went. I saw the pictures. It looked like it was a good time.
Absolute wealth of knowledge. Absolute wealth of knowledge.
So, I mean, a normal person would probably learn something. You, on the other hand, being below average Tank, you probably wouldn't understand most of it.
I mean, I you know what? Which one of us have been beat up more?
That's a close call. How many times have you been knocked out in the ring, or nutshotted in the ring?
That's true.
Okay. That's a fair point. See, I'm sorry. That's a fair point. We're gonna avoid that subject.
Who's dumb enough to go in the ring all the time with the action, and who's smart enough to be outside of the ring 99% of the time? This guy. So
I mean, so statistically, I should have been hit more. So
you have been hit more. Angie Masters, yay! Glad you're here too.
Hi, Angie.
Oh, I see that you didn't bring up the comment about you there, Shane.
Oh, was that towards me? I thought that was towards you.
No, it's because you got the crickets, and then they posted, "Oh, it's because you're lame. That's why you got crickets." I might have been to Tank with the whole, booing too. I don't know.
Absolutely could have been.
We're just going to assume it's directed to one of you guys because it's definitely not directed towards me. Let's see here. What do we have? Do we got any other news we want to talk about? We want to move on a little bit.
I think that wraps up the news. I think we're ready to get to our top 5.
All right. Let's see.
Every time.
Yep. We decided we're going to tackle a new topic this week. And what we have decided, what we came up with, basically what I told the guys to come up with, is we're going to talk top 5 contenders for the United States Championship. We didn't really, I didn't talk about my list. We all pretty much kept our list secret because we wanted to. We're going to have an open discussion here and see how what everyone picked.
With you,
and feel free to chime in. If you're watching at home, feel free to chime in on the comments on your opinions on any of the picks here, and we'll be sure to try to share those with everybody.
All right, so we're going to go 5-1. So
that would make more sense.
Yeah, making sure. So now, Kyle, that means the person that you think
who is this Kyle that you keep asking about?
Tank. That means the person.
He just has the intern Kyle on his mind.
I've been yelling at intern Kyle. I've been yelling at intern Kyle all day. So how we're gonna do this, Tank? So the person you think should get the title shot is gonna be your number one. So we're gonna they're gonna be the last person you say. Do you understand that?
I am well aware.
Okay, good job.
I know how to count backwards.
Good job, little buddy. Good job. Okay, so we're gonna start with you, Shane. What's your number 5 and why?
All right, my number 5 is Aaron Clay, Mr. KC himself.
Aaron.
Aaron. I chose him because he was previously in the mix for a U.S. title shot. Had a run of bad luck there, and then decided to form a tag team to get into the tag team tournament that it was unfortunately canceled. So that's what lowered him down on my list a little bit. But I believe that he has everything it takes to capture that U.S. title.
All right. Michael Lilly says howdy in the chat room. Hi, Michael. Glad you're here. Tank, who's your number 5?
My number 5 is going to be one half of the former WPW Tag Team Champions, Marcellus Knight. The reason being, he held his own against 2 men in the ring at the last show, defending the titles. I've very rarely met somebody with such heart, but kind of like Shane, he's been in the tag team for quite a little while, so that lowered him down on the list. But I think he definitely has a pretty fair shake at potentially becoming a United States champion.
I've got something to say about Marcellus Knight, but I'm going to hold on to mine because he's a little bit higher up on my list. So I'll wait till I get there then.
Fair enough.
Apparently, someone in the chat room was saying P.T. Beckham should be a contender for the United States Championship. You're not wrong. You are not wrong at all.
I feel like you're editing your list now.
Me? No, never.
All right, so Jason, who do you have as your number 5?
My number 5, you all are going to not believe this one. The Butcher, Damian Blade.
The Butcher has not been in WPW for a while. He's been traveling around a lot of different places across the United States. It might be possible that I've heard some rumors that it could be possible that he could end up back in a WPW ring soon. And former WPW champion, former tag champion, this would be one more belt in the company to add to his impressive resume, Hall of Fame resume.
I love how I let you guys explain, and then I just say who my number 5 is, and I just get talked over.
I mean,
exactly.
We're going to hear a lot of you tonight, so I think we can take it.
Anyway, so the Butcher, because obviously what you said, he's been wrestling, here, there, and everywhere. He is in talks possibly to come back to WPW, and I think when he does come back, he seriously needs to be put in the title picture for at least the U.S. Championship, if not the World Championship. But, I mean, he's done it all. He's beat everyone there is to beat. So I was pretty confident he would take out Jose El Magnifico pretty quick. I think if he brings
Magnifico's a pretty tough champion.
If he brings Bernice, then we got problems.
Ooh, I've been hit by that, and it ain't fun.
Oh, I loved it when you got hit with it.
That was not pleasant at all.
Nothing about you is pleasant. All right, number 4.
My number 4 is one Sid Holland.
Okay.
Reason being, Sid just had his opportunity, although it was in a 4-person match, so he only had about a 25% chance of winning. But he had his opportunity at the WPW title. It's going to take time to build his way back up to that, either that or another Grand Brawl win. So I think with as the dominance that he has established, I think that he could really work his way through the U.S. title division.
Okay.
Hi, Peggy. Glad you could join us tonight. Tank.
Time out. When you said that, for some reason, my brain, you know what?
Don't change your list now.
No, I've lost my train of thought. So I apologize.
That's not hard to do. That train left the station a long time ago.
Hard left. So number 4 on my list is a gentleman that is relatively new to WPW by the name of Chris Exodus.
Okay.
He is a very small man in stature, but some of the stuff he can do in the ring is actually extremely agile. He's put on a number of great matches in the time he has been in WPW. I think that him and Magnifico could tear the house down as far as a match goes. And I do think that he, you know, I'm not going to say that he would be coming out the victor in that particular exchange, but I do think he'd stand a pretty good shot.
You know, like you said, he's not an overly big guy. He's a small guy, knows how to use his speed, knows how to use his size to his advantage. But he's a guy that wrestles with a bit of a chip on his shoulder. You know, he's had a lot of criticism because of his wrestling background, some of the companies that he has wrestled for. And, you know, he's just kind of tired of hearing it. And he's a guy that when he gets in the ring, he wants to wrestle to prove a point. I could definitely see your point there, Tank.
Yep. Nope. Yeah. And I every bit of that is exactly why I went the route I did. And the only reason he's not further up on the list is he hasn't really had that extended stay to prove his, you know, longevity within WPW. But I think that, you know, given some time, I definitely think he could be a future champ.
Probably. Maybe. We'll see. Let's see. Number 4 here. My number 4 is none other than Sid Holland's tag team partner, Jake Prater.
Ooh.
Not bad.
Because, I mean, he's young, he's hungry, he wants to win championships. I know he's been working before the world ended here. He was doing, you know, tagging a lot with Sid Holland and other promotions. But let's not forget, he started out here in WPW, and he was mean back then. And I'm
the Mountain Man the Mountain Man, to pardon the phrase, he's a tank in the ring. He's just an absolute mountain of a man. There is nothing but just solid mass of wanting to hurt you when he's in there.
Yes.
And I tell you what, there's definitely someone that's one man I would not want to be on the wrong end of a, you know, ass whooping. Where's your glasses? I wonder who Marnie is
probably to. Me. My problem is I'm hitting an age now where I've got my contacts in so I can see far away, but now I need the second set of glasses to see up close.
Okay, Shane, you're number 3.
My number 3 is a relative newcomer to WPW. Not really a newcomer, but somebody who hadn't been in WPW for a while and made a return, Keith Smith Jr.
Or at least his mustache should be number 1 contender.
The mustache alone puts him in contention for a title. I mean, that's a t-shirt waiting to happen.
Yes. His mustache can walk the ring and we sell out just instant.
I mean, this is a guy who was born into the business. I believe he's a 3rd-generation wrestler, championship pedigree, has been in the ring since he learned to walk, and I think it's just a matter of time before he holds WPW gold.
Not a terrible prediction there.
Not at all.
Tank, you're number 3.
My number 3 is actually the man that Magnifico faced at our last show. Gideon Morbid. I've actually gotten to see him over the hashtag mustache power. I love that.
Mustache power.
So I've gotten to see Gideon Morbid improve a lot and terrify me a lot over the last couple of years. And I think it was mentioned in the play-by-play when he was in the ring in that match. It was a different Morbid, a more focused, a more intense, a more sadistic, if you will.
Just use the word crazy.
Yeah, I don't think crazy would do it justice, really, because when you see that, as I did, in the ring, it is almost outright terrifying. So
he's think, biting somebody in the middle of the ring in the middle of a COVID outbreak. I think he's a little bit crazy.
Okay, yeah, I mean, and that's I think with a little bit more push, I think he actually would be a pretty good champ. You know, if he was able to get another shot against Jose Magnifico.
You know, here's the thing. I would love to disagree with you, Tank. I would love to say that you're wrong. I would love to say that, but I had Morbid down as my number 2 for many of the same reasons that you just listed.
Whoa, wait, rewind. I never got to my number 3 there, Jackass.
Well, I know, but while we were on the topic of Gideon Morbid, I just thought I'd jump ahead of you there.
Okay. Well, my number 3 is none other. Oh, Halbert sucks. Of course, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yes,
Sure.
sir. I can second that.
Hey, do we have any Xavier Frost fans in the building?
Aye, right here.
Oh,
Right
wait,
here.
hold on. That's what I thought. Yep.
I believe I heard a different response when he was in the ring last time.
Oh, that's right. His other response. This one here.
Oh no,
No, one
Yeah.
like that.
no. I'm pretty sure they were singing. Do you have a clip of that? I mean,
I don't know
somebody
what
does.
you're talking about. You're coming in
Yeah.
kind of choppy.
Yeah.
My number 3 is none other than P.T. Beckham.
Really?
Because, yeah.
About, what, 30 seconds ago?
I mean, sure, why not?
Yeah,
It's my
he
list. I can do what I
volunteered
want.
himself, so Halbert switched it around. You know,
That's
Beckham's an extremely talented kid. But go ahead, give me your reasons. I don't want to jump in front of you again.
P.T. Beckham is an extremely talented individual. He's not a kid; he's an individual. He might be a kid to you because you're old,
Yeah, that's
but
true.
he is a very talented individual. He's wrestled in WPW multiple times, and every single time he's wrestled, he's impressed not only myself but the board. So I think there might be some talks maybe to bring P.T. Beckham back. We're hoping so on a longer term basis. I personally am hoping so. So if he does come back, that's what I'm hoping for, is that he becomes, he gets thrown into a title picture pretty fast, because that man deserves it.
So, I can't believe I'm about to utter this sentence, and it will be recorded, which annoys me.
Yes, we will have proof.
I actually agree with Halbert for once.
No.
I know, right? Oh man, that makes my blood boil. But I have gotten the privilege of sharing the ring with P.T. Beckham, and everything you just said, whew, this is gonna hurt, is absolutely right. He is a hell of an athlete and can do a lot of good things in that ring, and I would like to see him back in WPW as well. So if there's one thing I hope the board can do, I do hope that does happen.
All right, so you'd already told us
All
your
right.
number 2 there. So what's your number? I guess you want to explain it, or are you just going to piggyback off of what Tank said?
Well, that's kind of why I joined in there on my number 2, because for all the reasons that Tank said, Gideon Morbid, he just looked like a different wrestler out there in his title shot against Jose El Magnifico. He was kind of a surprise entrant into that match. Nobody really expected him to be there, and he really brought it to the champ.
Your number 2 there.
So it's ironic that me and Shane have flip-flopped our number 2s and number 3s, because my number 2 is actually Keith Smith Jr. Mustache Power. I mean, do you need anything else? But if you need, outside of the credentials that you mentioned, I love it so much. He now holds a victory. That is even better, by the way. He holds a victory over Curtis Payne, which is a huge deal, and that's the reason that those two are flip-flopped. Keith Smith did manage to pull up the victory over Curtis, whereas Gideon Morbid did come up short. So realistically, that's the main reason that the two of those. Oh, thank you.
No, he's got the wrong. He's
you very much.
dyslexic. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Is Earl Hebner is greater than Tank? That's what he's trying to say.
That warms the cockles of my heart right there.
The what?
The cockles.
Hey, the family show. Family show. Anyway.
So yes, that is why I think that I think that he should be number 2 as far as that goes. So that's my reasoning behind it.
Real quick here, Michael Lilly, his top 5 would be Savage, can't argue there. Rough Cut Rick Ruby, can't argue there. Marcellus Knight, whatever. Playboy, he's okay, and his number 1 should be Scar.
Whoa!
I haven't seen that man in a year and a half.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think he's even with the company anymore.
He went to go find himself after he got beat by a girl.
Yeah.
So
we're not going to talk about that one.
Anyway,
all right. Hey, for sake of time, let's we have a special guest waiting on us. Let's get to our number 1 here.
Okay, my number 2 real quick was Hollis, because the man never lost the title.
Oh,
Simple.
Good point.
Okay,
Absolutely.
My
Sorry
number
about
1. I'll just make mine quick and simple. Gideon Morbid. I mean, did you see the way he wrestled at our last show? You guys have already said everything. Can't really say much else. He put it to Magnifico. I want to see him do it again.
Wow.
Fair.
Tank.
So my number 1 is also Hollis. I understand why they took the belt, but he never did lose the title. I do think a rematch is fair, so that's why he would be sitting in my number 1.
I would like to see a triple threat match between him and Gideon and Jose El Magnifico. That's what I want to see.
I'll sign that line right now to ref that match if we can make it happen.
All right, my number one. I did not go Hollis simply because his title was stripped of him because of medical issues. I want to know that those have been resolved and that he's got the clearance to come back. I went with Marcellus Knight. Reason being, he has been a multiple-time tag team champion. He was a no-limit champion, so he's done it on his own. He's done it with a tag team partner. He almost won the tag team titles all by himself against the Violators. The guy has a way to fire up everybody around him, and I just see breakout star all over him. That's my opinion.
I can agree with that.
I don't know about breakout star. I mean, he's going to break out of something, but I don't know about breakout star by no means. So, I mean, hey, we can agree to disagree because, I mean, you guys are both wrong. Well, at least you're wrong, Shane, but I'm not. So, anyway, let's see here. Yeah, you're just like you're the one playing with the buttons there. Night for Life. Wow. All right, moving on. So, you've got our special guest ready to come along?
We do.
None other than the one, the only, the greatest wrestler in the WPW locker room and pretty much anywhere he goes, the one and only Playboy Double H. Hey, champ, welcome to the show. Glad you can make it.
Hey, good looking shirt there you got, Halbert.
I got to represent the best.
That was wrong.
What was wrong?
He isn't the champ.
He should be the champ.
I mean,
I'm just saying, he's not the
champ. Where's the belt at, fat boy?
It's not with me, but it's not with you either. So,
and first off,
it's where it belongs. It's in PYT. So
I can still refer to him as the champ because he's a former champion. So that's all I'm saying there.
All I'm saying is, looking at the comments here, the people just absolutely love Playboy.
No, I mean, all the women want to be with him, and all the men wish they were him. I mean, that's pretty well it.
Exactly.
Let's see.
The bald-headed guy you got here on your broadcast, the guy that's putting down your ratings. And if you ever put your hands on me again in a match, I will bust the rest of the hair that you have on the top of your head, if you even have any left. Hey, shut up when I'm talking.
Listen here.
If you ever put your hands on me again, I will bust those glasses right off your face, boy.
Then you need to learn respect. And I'll tell you now, if you ever come at me, be a title match or anything else, I will throw it out quicker than you can shake a stick, son.
That's okay. That's okay because Blundy's already in negotiations with WPW management to have you never ref a PYT match ever again in WPW. Blundy's on the phones. He's working with WPW management, and that is going to happen because not only did you almost cost us that heavyweight championship, but you almost got whooped in front of all those people.
You know what? Next time you decide to put your hands on me,
you would have been so mad. You would have been like, got escorted out of the building.
Yeah. You know, he the only time I've seen Tank this upset was when, Taco Bell announced they're getting rid of the Mexican pizza. I mean, apparently you got under his skin. I don't know. Apparently the only thing really ticks him off is food and food and Playboy. I don't understand it.
That right there, Xavier Frost was spot on. Time's ticking, and I can't wait for it.
Let's rewind back to what Virgil said. Virgil's in the chat room. Hey, fat boy, you respect him. And you know what? Yeah, that's exactly what you need to do. Because why? I've said it before and I'll say it again. Playboy puts butts in the seat. You don't.
Pretty much.
You know what?
And either does Frost, either does Curtis Payne, either does the Mustache Boy. Who is the ones that put the people in the seats? PYT and Playboy Double H. Period. That's it. Who do they come to see? Playboy and PYT.
Not Halbert.
We are money makers. Period.
So I'm trying to remain professional, but you're making it very difficult. So if we could actually move on with the interview and be a little more professional, I think everybody would be a little bit better.
Oh, I don't have
professional.
To be
why are you even on this show? You need to get off the show.
Because we were desperate for a third person. That's why.
I feel sorry for you. You're like you're the only one. You're the only one worthy on this.
Well,
we do have Playboy here. Playboy was nice enough to give us his time for an interview. So maybe we take some time and ask Playboy some questions.
Well, I was going to until Tank decided to open his mouth and not let anyone get a word in edgewise. So I mean, he instigated the greatest WPW champion in our history. So that's what I'm saying. So Playboy, let's talk a little bit here. How did you get involved into wrestling? Like, what made you think I can do this? I want to do this.
Man, I've been watching wrestling since I was 3. Man, Blondie had me in front of that TV watching wrestling since the age of 3, and I always dreamed of being that superstar, which I am. But other than that, just watching wrestling as a little youngin, and just watching other shows, as in WPW back. I'm just when I was a teenager, just watching shows, and I just mentioned it to good old Pops there, and he worked his magic, and here we are today as one of the top heels in the Midwest. So just watching it, and I just put your mind to it, and pretty much you can do anything you can with your mind to it. So I just said, you know what, that's something I want to do, and when I do it, I've gotten this far.
So you decide, hey, I think that's what I want to do. Who did you approach? Like how'd you decide, to make that next step?
It was on a well-known promoter in the area. We won't mention any names, but okay. I reached out to him, said, hey, I want to be a wrestler. And as a 15, 16-year-old kid, he kind of said, okay, yeah, we'll see how you do. Here's the address, come down, take a few bumps, and we'll see how it goes after that. But once got in there and did my job, and bumped here and there, and they saw my work ethic and stuff like that, it just kept going up the ladder. So it took a lot of hard sweat, blood, sweat, and tears. And I mean, it's hard work to be a professional wrestler. That's no joke, but definitely that and feeding off of other guys in the business, and then going to seminars and whatnot. But
so you've been wrestling for how long?
Probably a good 20 years or so, on and on. I mean, I took about a 5-6 year break and came back here about 3-4 years ago. So I was done. I was basically done, years ago, and you always get that itch to come back. And
yeah,
good that I came back, because this has been probably one of the best stretches of my career in the last year and a half.
Yeah, I don't think anyone can argue that. Tank as well. I mean,
no, I can't argue that as much as I'd like to.
If you look back the last 2 years, I mean, you've pretty much been on top of the company.
Yeah,
pretty much anywhere you go. So
I was going to say, his run in the last couple of years has not just been WPW. I believe you've held the top title in several different companies. You've been RCW champion, you've been ACW champion, WPW champion. I mean, love him or hate him, Playboy Double H has been the draw everywhere he goes.
Yeah.
And you mentioned those 3 companies. As a matter of fact, I was the heavyweight champion in all 3 companies at one time. So it has to be something to be said there. But it's not only, it's to say on my ability and my work ethic and stuff like that, and just doing it is. And like I said, it's the best stretch of my career that I have ever had. And, I'm just feeding off of it and just going to keep going and making the ladies drool, and just I don't know. I got ladies calling me left and right each and every night. Every time I leave a show, I've got to be escorted. But
So you've been wrestling for a while. If you had to pick one match that's your favorite match? Forget if it's for a world title or what. Just if someone says I want to watch one Playboy Double H match, what match would that be?
Oh man. My 2 favorite matches. Well, I always had a good feud back in my early days, but probably my favorite match would be a tables, ladders, and chairs match I had with Jeremy Lightfoot back in the RCW days. And most recently, I had it was a 3-way Armageddon match up in Quincy. It was kind of like in a cage, TLC inside of a cage. Armageddon match is what they called it, and that was against War and Wicked. And that was a brutal match, but you know what? It was fun. The chemistry was there between all 3 of us. I know I still talk to this day about that match, but I'd have to say those are probably two of my best matches here that I can think of. Obviously, there's many more, that I've had, but those were probably the most fun I've had as far as big-time matches. But there's a lot of guys that I've had great matches, good chemistry with. I mean, the last man standing match I had at Wrestle War a few years ago where I was cheated on my belt, but we won't talk about that. But that was a fun match. Victor Cortez, thankfully the guy's out of wrestling now. I put him out of there. The guy's a piece of crap in this business anyway. But anyways, we won't talk about that. But that match was fun, even though I was on the losing end. But I have to give respect to the guy. The guy fought his butt off. He had a fluke win that night, but I had too much on my mind. That was the beginning of Curtis's little miscues left and right. That was the beginning of Curtis screwing up. That ended our tag team run as champions because of Curtis. Therefore, my mind wasn't all into that match. But the last man standing match was fun. The Armageddon match was good. And the TLC match was extraordinary fun.
Okay, so, before hold on just a second, Tank. Before we get into some of these things, you've mentioned some names, Xavier Frost and Curtis Payne and some things that are going on currently. I have a question for you. We've talked about all of your success, all of your titles. What would you say to those people who claim that you only have that success because of the gang that you have around you in PYT?
The gang?
How would you respond to that?
The gang. I don't need the gang. Look, they're just there to watch my back, because you never know with people in this business. They always try to cheat, good Eddie Guerrero, cheat and steal and all that stuff. So we always got our plan. No matter what it is, I don't need those guys to be at ringside. They're protecting me from the fans, obviously, as we can all witness at the last show. I've got to have protection. So I don't need the help. They're more than happy to be out there to watch my back, and they want to watch up and close and personal of me doing what I do best. And I don't. So
what would you say to those people? What would you say to those people who say that you wouldn't have those titles without PYT out there at ringside, distracting the referee, getting in the ring and hitting your opponent?
Could you be any more disrespectful to our guest?
I'm not being disrespectful. I'm just echoing the things that have been told to me.
I'm the biggest name in your company, and you're going to disrespect me like that? Your ratings have skyrocketed. Your ratings in WPW, your attendance has come up since Playboy Double H has come to WPW. And how many years ago? 3 years, 4 years? And your ratings, your attendance keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I mean, have you seen outside in those stands how many PYT shirts there are? How many pink shirts there are? How many black shirts there are? 2 sweet shirts? I mean, I am the man in your company. And as far as Xavier Frost goes, and as far as Curtis, it was because of me that I won the tag team titles with Curtis. My back hurt so much from carrying him throughout that entire run of being tag champion. I didn't need Curtis to win the heavyweight belt. I was two title for a good 6-7 months. No one could beat me. I didn't need Curtis to win those belts. I don't need anyone's help, and I will prove that to anybody. Reed Rain doesn't need my help. I don't need his help.
So let's go back a little bit. If you say that, I remember specifically the match between you and Johnny Rocco, and if I'm not mistaken, all of PYT ended up not being at ringside because they got thrown out, and then the Silver Mountain Mafia got thrown out. And if I'm not mistaken, and I know I'm not because I was the one who was in that match and counted, you lost the WPW World Heavyweight title. So to say that you didn't need them, but then you look at history and see how it sort of dictates that that's not not correct, how would you answer that?
Listen here, Tank. Everyone has a fluke. Everyone has that little special moment, and that happened to be Rocco caught me at a bad time. I had more things on my mind. I had just lost that match. Not only prior to that, Curtis screw-ups throughout the entire time. I'm trying to keep PYT as a strong unit that we are. I had other things on my mind to stay focused on Johnny Rocco, of all people. I mean, obviously, that one squirrel always finds the nut. So he had a fluke win that night, and that's all there is to it. And of course, with you being in the ring, therefore, that is the reason why Blundy's on the phone talking to WWE management of not having you be an official in any PYT match. We can't trust you. Either you put your hands on me or you count to 3 with a quick count. I mean, we can't trust you at all.
So what I hear here is, for your shortcomings as they are, you want to blame everyone else. It's my fault. It's Curtis's fault.
Well, when you quick count the man, yeah, it is your fault.
It's Frost's fault. But, Curtis had some words for you last week when we did this show. First, would you like to respond to those particular comments, since we're on the topic of, Curtis being the reason that you've lost all these matches?
Well, what did he say? I could care less. The guy talks more than anything, and for him to sucker punch me like he did a few weeks ago, he's going to pay back for that. Obviously, here I'm trying to teach the guy how to be a winner, how to be a champion. He wants to say that I'm disrespecting him and I'm being Mr. Mean Guy to him. I told him to go out there and prove to me that he's PYT worthy. I don't just put anybody and everybody in PYT. You have to show me that you're not only PYT material, but you can stay that way. And obviously, I'm the one who gave him the hot chocolate name, and I will definitely take that back. And now that he's going to be little butt buddies with Xavier Frost, and now all of a sudden they think they're going to have a war for PYT, and then somehow WPW management's going to have a tag match in the next WPW show? I don't think so. You know what? They need to get up to our level of PYT. We're championship material. What's Frost? Frost doesn't have a belt in how many, over a year. I mean, I don't even think a belt can even fit around his waist. And now he wants to team up with Curtis to take out PYT. I mean, Curtis, I had to carry you for a whole entire year. Well, And let me go back. He wants to say that we were the ones that approached him. Let me get the story straight. He was the one who came to me and said, "Playboy, I need to go somewhere. I'm not going anywhere, but I know that you are the man in this company. You can take me to higher ground. What can you offer me?" And therefore, I sat back and I put the crew together, Blundy and Virgil. We put our smart minds together, and we made the decision to put Curtis in there. But Curtis had one chance, and Curtis screwed it up. We shocked the world when Curtis joined. Believe me, he made his own daughter cry in the stands. When you can do that, that tells you a lot. But as time went on, and I'm doing more of the carrying of the team, I was getting frustrated. We've had many sit-downs and talks, and I said, "Curtis, this is the life to live. You're in limos all the time. You're in the spotlight all the time. You've got jet rides all the time. We've got parties. We've got women. We've got it all. We've got money. Can you live up to the fame?" And he could not. He was a disappointment in PYT. And then for him to sucker punch me after I just tried to put the momentum in him, I just tried to give him that little oomph. He was on a losing streak. We don't lose in PYT. It doesn't matter what we do. We always come out victorious. And therefore, he was the weakest link. So therefore, now he's got some personal business with myself and PYT. And that's not a good state to be in. And if he wants to get Frost, Frost had a hard time beating Halbert, and Halbert's not even a wrestler. So
I think he was awfully winded at the end of that match.
Right. Well, he was winded just getting there, and the entranceway wasn't even 3 feet. The guy was already. Halbert didn't have help. It was Halbert a no DQ, you idiot.
No. Halbert had help the same way you have help. So if we're being honest,
no, absolutely not.
Oh, you're right. Halbert hired muscle. You
need to go back. You need to go back and watch professional wrestling and understand the rules, you idiot. It was a no DQ. There's no help at all. Okay, that's the way we roll. Right.
The only reason the Violators got involved was to protect their interest in WPW. The only reason Gideon Warwick got involved was to protect his interest in WPW. So I didn't hire them to do anything.
So it's okay if there's a no DQ match, but in Playboy's case, where there is rules in place and people have interjected themselves in the matches, that is cheating by a stretch of the imagination, correct?
And you know what the funny thing is? You all thought that PYT was having a fallout that night too. Reed Rain and I had you guys all fooled because.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up because that was going to be my next question. How's PYT doing? How is there any tension in PYT because the whole group is based on Playboy being the champ and now somebody else has the title? How is PYT doing?
No, hold on.
PYT is just fine. Don't you worry about that. All right, there's no friction.
I told them that last week that it's all for one for. It's not all about Playboy. As long as the belt is back with PYT, that's all that matters. I told them we went out, we partied, and we celebrated that night. We painted that town red or pink if you want to take a look.
Well, yeah.
But there was absolutely no jealousy going on in PYT.
Yeah, don't you worry. There's no friction in PYT. We got rid of the loose nut. Obviously, he's gone, and now we'll focus on him, and obviously we'll make sure that belt stays home. I mean, obviously, we both know, Reed Rain and I both know that I am truly the leader of PYT. I am still Le Champion. I am still the champion in heart of PYT. As long as that belt is in PYT, I am the champion. I mean, Reed Rain has got it. He's got it controlled. Believe me, we've already had this conversation. He's got to understand. PYT's working on things. Obviously, we had y'all fooled throughout that night, but we've got our eyes set on Curtis for what he's disrespected us for.
Playboy. In that same thought, Reed Rain, WPW champion. Who does he face in his first title match defending that belt? If you get to choose, who does he face defending his belt first?
You know what? How about Curtis? Put Curtis in there. Because not only... Yeah, that's an easy win. I mean, it shows. Plus, Reed Rain, after what he's done, after what Curtis has done to us, Reed already told me that he's eyeing for Curtis, anyways, for even sucker punching the leader of PYT. So, but I'd like to see that, and then, maybe if Fat Boy can get past me, maybe you can give him a chance. And I don't think he'll get past. He won't. Well, I know he won't get past me, but and then. How about Reed Rain versus Playboy?
I'd like to see that match happen. I think that'd be one hell of a match.
I think that would be the beginning of the end of PYT.
I think that'd be.
Nobody asked you, right?
But and you've got people need to learn to respect you. You got idiots like Tank running his mouth. You've got idiots like Alex Steele in the chat room running his mouth, saying, "Oh, I'm going to beat you," and blah blah blah. Problem is with Alex Steele, like Virgil pointed out, he's got to show up before he can get a shot at you.
Yeah. The guy gets a little bit of a he gets
car
a little tummy ache and
issues.
he can't show up. Yeah, car issue, little tummy ache, he can't show up. He left his partner out to dry, kind of like Curtis. Oh, jeez.
And Mr. Clicky on the comments, go back up to what Michael Lilly said, because it completely contradicts what Tank said. He's refereed some of Playboy's matches where he has been by himself, at ringside by himself. At the end of the match, he raised Playboy's hand for the win. So what does that tell you there, Tank? Huh? It doesn't have to be 4 against 1, 2 against 1. It doesn't matter, because Playboy by himself can still pull out the win.
It tells me that Blundy's money goes quite a ways.
Yeah. Some people can be bought, some people can't be bought, and I'm one of those that can't. And he knows it. Playboy knows it. Blundy knows it. They all know it. I'm not worried about it, as I showed. He put his hands on me. I'll put my hands on him. Lily, no offense to him, but obviously if Playboy barks at him the wrong way, he'll probably drop. So I'm just saying, there's a reason
Just put it this way: the PYT hit list is getting pretty full. There's Curtis, Frost, and you, Tank, are right there at number 3. That hit list, and you don't want to be on that list. I'll guarantee it. You ever put your hands on me again? Hell, I'll even stick Virgil on you because I know Virgil can kick yours. He's not even a wrestler.
If that's the case, I feel pretty comfortable having Curtis and Frost in front of me. When they come after you guys, I'm really hoping that I get to be there to see it. That's just my personal opinion.
All I got to say is WCW better hope they don't even show up.
Well, apparently Frost was still running his mouth in the chat. He said your career is about to be over.
When isn't he running his mouth?
That's all he does.
Yeah, exactly.
If he's not stuffing it full of chili dogs and pizza, he's talking trash on real talent in the company.
But it's funny you say that, because again, how did that last show end? Who was in the ring raising their hands when that show was over, and who was backing away?
PYT was in the ring raising our hands, you idiot.
I believe it ended differently.
You need to wake up from your dream.
Wasn't Frost and Curtis Payne in the ring? Hadn't they cleared out all of PYT?
You know what? But PYT knows when to get the hell out.
Yeah,
because they had nothing to prove that night.
They may not have had anything to prove, but they had numbers, and they still backed away.
We already proved who we are and how great PYT is. I mean, we didn't want to. We knew we had to go out and celebrate that evening. We didn't want to, give the fans more. Obviously, we gave them a little bit too much because you had certain individuals trying to attack yours truly. So,
see, Michael Lilly, he can't be bought. He just speaks the truth, and he is your. I'm not gonna say he's not on the same level as you there, Tank, but you know what? He's also a referee. So, are you trying to say that Michael Lilly, his opinion or his experience is not the same as yours?
No,
he can't call him. He can't call a match down the middle because you sure as hell can't.
I can.
I respect anybody who will don the stripes. I can, but I think that realistically, I've seen Lilly in the ring with PYT at ACW and WPW, and I do think there is a tad bit of favoritism there. I think that says the guy who laid me out with a kendo stick in an attempt to protect Halbert.
Oh, whatever.
So, all I'm saying is when you have a guy like Lilly who's been in the business a while, I'll admit, I respect the fact that he's willing to put the stripes on, but I've also seen the way he reacts around PYT and some of the other guys. I think there's a little bit of favoritism there, and I don't personally possess any favoritism toward anyone, contrary to belief.
That's a load of crap.
Oh, except for Halbert. I can't stand Halbert. That's a given.
Well, he can't stand you either.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty. Right. But I'm sorry, me and Playboy are gonna have to disagree because we both show that you favor anyone that's fighting PYT. So you can't say you call anything down the middle when you quick count PYT every chance you get.
You know what?
Which is why Blondie is going to take care of that once and for all. So
let's agree to disagree. I feel like at this point we've said what we can say. I don't dislike you, Playboy. I have a lot of respect for you and what you do in the ring. I may disagree with some of the stuff you do, but
now he's trying to get it to where you don't whoop his ass at the next show.
I'm not worried at all because here's the deal: if he puts his hands on me again, you think you have lawyers, you think you have all this stuff. I promise you, you hit a ref, I guarantee you're going to be broke because there will be a fine in place. I will make sure of that.
Ooh! If it's got anything to do with money, I've got it taken care of. Come on, guy.
All right, gentlemen. Playboy, we'd like to thank you for being our guest tonight. The floor is yours. You have one opportunity to speak to all of the WPW and their friends and family and fans. What do you have to say to them?
What do I have to say to them? Just keep coming out, supporting PYT. You know who your true hero is. It's Playboy Double H. And as far as Curtis and Frost go, you guys are on the hit list, especially Curtis. You come on here last week, you want to talk trash about me. I was carrying you for the last year and a half. Curtis, your time was due. Your time was due you were the weak link of PYT. So now we have our focus on you. We have our focus on Frost. I will end Frost once and for all. If that's what it takes, if he really wants to come at me and he wants to make a name for himself, well, he's picked the right guy because I'll make the dude famous. Okay? Any company I go to, I make my opponent famous because of who they're into. So WPW fans, we appreciate the support. Keep buying the PYT merchandise. Keep representing, and please stay too sweet. And it's always for life.
Absolutely. Thank you. You know what? Playboy, let me go ahead, and I'm going to properly thank you for gracing us with your presence on the show. I know that you get disrespected all the time from people like Tank and even Shane a little bit there. But personally, I want to thank you for doing me that favor.
Well, I appreciate it. Honestly, you're the only reason why I come on the show. I could care less about the other two. So
I know.
Because of you being on the show, I took time out of my busy schedule. I mean, I had to postpone a few appointments, but those appointments can be caught up here. But I took time out of my busy schedule to join the show because of you, because you're the only guy I respect on this show. The other two, I could care less.
Well, I think, let me check the time here. I think that just about does it for this week. Unless you guys have anything else that's not disrespectful to our guest here.
Mom said if you ain't got nothing
no
nice
disrespect, Mint. Thank you for answering all of our questions. Thank you for being our guest this week. And no disrespect, Mint. Just I had questions asked of me from fans, and I needed to ask you them. So thank you for your time and your answers.
No problem. I appreciate it.
There we go. And my in-studio crowd even thanks you there, too. So.
Well, I mean, I am Playboy Double H, man. I mean, everybody loves me. And most people hate me, which is fine, too.
Yeah. All right, everyone. So tune in next week. We're going to be here same bat time, same bat
channels,
website,
channels,
stream,
channels,
however you want to say it.
Facebook, YouTube, Twitch.
So for my co-hosts, the one and only, thank God there's only one of them, Sherman Tank and Shane Jones, I am the voice of WPW, Jason Albert. We will see you next week. Once again, Playboy. Oh, let me back up here. Sorry. Real quick, we want to give a shout-out to our sponsors here. The Duke and Duchess of Bling. They do $5 paparazzi jewelry at our shows. Their website is right there. Cindy's Glamorous Nails, Color Street. That's that stick-on nail stuff. It's really, really good stuff from what I hear. Tank tells me it works well. And finally, Sarah Lopez of Cincy Sales. If you go to lopez.sarah.cincy.us, that's our website. Place an order. So there you go. You can find all the links to all those on our Facebook pages, our website, and all that. So now, like I was trying to say, we will see you again next week. Adios. Be good. Take care of each other. Wash your hands. Wear a mask.